Shouldn't we be going live? Oh, we are. Invest in long-term.
3, 2, 1, 0.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome into the open where we get technical. You should have investments in long-term growth. Investments in long-term growth. Good morning. It is Monday, top of the week, top of the trading week. Welcome. This is Get Technical. I'm your host, Neil Hamilton. With me, as always, is producer AB. There he is. Get back in that box, producer AB. How are we all doing? Give us a 1 in chat if you're feeling it today. If you're feeling it. And if you're not, don't tell me why. This isn't the place for that. This isn't the place for that. We're friends, but I'm not your psychiatrist. Come on. Good morning, 13. 13, my man. 13, the Batman of our YouTube streams, the Batman of Benzinga, had an awesome write-up on some food stocks. 13, let me know if you want me to share that, because I would love to. It's so, I told him it was so good, I wanted to mint it as an NFT. We are open. We're 1 minute in. What I will say is that sometimes, and you guys might have picked up on, I don't want to call it frustration, but I don't have a better word for it right now. I'm just being real with you. Sometimes you guys go, like, you turn into crazy animals and start shouting stocks at me, and you do it all through the show. And I'll tell you what, Luke Jacoby might do his this little thing, and then a couple sneaky couple of those, and then start doing the stocks. But hey, we like to keep it cool here, all right? We like to keep it focused. We're here about making money. We're not here to make YOLO trades. So we did something a little bit different. We went over to the old tweet world. We went to the Twitterverse. And my screen is not, I'm not sharing my screen. My bad, guys. Sharing my screen. Boom, boom, boom. Feeling good on a Monday. So check it out, guys. You got a chart there, which is a community pick that has crossed above its 50-day, but then has gone back down. But then on the right, you got my Twitter feed. Get on over to Neil's tweets, at Neil's tweets. You guys like my Luke Jacoby? Get on over to Neil's tweets. I'm going to start in the morning asking you for tickers and time frames so we can be more efficient, and I can build a watch list ahead of time. So we got a little one here. Big shout out to Skatemore. Loving it. That is me after a year of lockdown. Fat Thor / Zach Galifianakis. And then I had another one. Let's go to the old regular feed here. Oh, why is that weird? I want to be on my feed. How does Twitter work? There we go. I did a post. Drop your tickers and time frames here. And a bunch of you were super cool and dropped your tickers and time frames. And you know what? I gave you a cute little heart because I love you. And the anonymous. This was yeah, Nate, you nailed it. So tell me more about blah 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 blah. So at any rate, thank you guys for dropping these in. Ozon, I think I actually missed from Miles, and I feel bad about that. So I'm adding that to our Twitter list. We are into the open now, 4 minutes in. So let's start seeing, let's start looking at these, see what's actually moving, what gives us entries right now from the Twitter stocks. Guys, Neil's tweets, drop them there. It will improve the quality of the show and make us more efficient. We love efficiency in our trading. So let's start off with, was DDS mine? No, it wasn't. Okay, DDS. Who gave us DDS? Big shout out to whoever did. Oh, it's Miles, of course. Miles wants DDS weekly. Let's do it. Because I didn't do my research on the weekend because we had a Benzinga boot camp, and then I had to do a webinar the next day, and my dad came into town. So I had to entertain the man. So that's basically, I just played some CCR and we ordered tacos. But I didn't have time to do my weekly research. So now I'm using you guys. And that's okay. All right, so we're looking at DDS. I see cup with handle on the weekly. Yes, there was an aggressive move on the week. Cup with handle nonetheless with the sell-off coming. This is the weekly chart. DDS Dillards. I believe there's some news, if I'm not mistaken, Miles, if you're here. Thank you, RG. We're keeping that Luke Jacoby quote up on the screen. This is like 7 so's. So DDS getting a little pancaked by resistance here. Let me close the Twitter. That's not helpful for anyone, is it? DDS getting a little pancaked by resistance here. And we want it to break out. It already broke out above the handle of our cup and handle on the weekly. I believe there was news, correct me if I'm wrong, about DDS, what kind of tacos. We got them from this place. The tacos come from this place. I forgot the name of it. I got to shout them out, but I like them because they're basically a churched up version of Taco Bell. So they'll do like gordita wraps, like cheesy gorditas, and like all of the just nonsensical crap that Taco Bell comes up with, but they put like good fresh ingredients in it and charge like $2 extra per taco. They're awesome. Yeah, so DDS cup with handle on the weekly, looking a little pancaked. Let's bring it down to daily. Couple things to notice. One, our volume is below average. All right, we're going down on volume. Not a big surprise here because we're just not getting the thrust that we need to break above on our cup with handle the left pivot. Now, this may also be looked at as I believe, a pennant, which might be what Miles has done. So let's do a couple other things because I know my man Miles, I'm starting to get to know your trading styles. I know my man likes to use the Fibonacci extent or retracement tool, anchor it at the high and then bring it down to the low. And then we can see that we're getting stopped. If you guys can see this, let me know. If you cannot see this, let me know. But there's a line right here. This line is where the stock is currently trading right here at the open. It's also the 50% line on our retracement. So using the Fibonacci retracement tool, anchoring at the top and then down at the bottom, the swing low here that occurred on February 2nd is giving us fantastic guidance on where to trade this stock, where to look for periods of consolidation. But my man, Miles, knows me all too well. He knows me all too well. I want to play that song, but I don't want the lawyers to contact Benzinga. I'm already in a little bit of trouble for a thing that I did yesterday. I'm always in trouble with someone, so I'm trying not to get in too much trouble with old Uncle Raz. So we do have a great bottoming out, and we are in reversal territory. We have completed, it looks like, a break above this neckline. Look at this cute little, look at this apple bottom jeans. You guys know it. All my Gen Yers know it, and some of the Gen Xers that kind of tried to stay young, traded in their Nirvana shirts for I don't know who was popular for Linkin Park. You did it. You said Nirvana's out. If I want to be viable in the dating market today, the competitive dating market, I need to wear a Linkin Park shirt. RIP, a real one. So we've got our cute little booty, you know it, with our swing high right about here that we've broken out of. So I'm going to box this baby in so we can look at the history of what's going on. Let's do a little research for posterity on, you see the pun there? Research on posterity. Apple bottom. All right, I'm feeling it on a Monday morning here. So we're boxed in. We're going to bring this down to the meat of the trading right about there. We got the resolution. Look at that. The base of your double bottom up to where the meat of the trading lines up perfectly where this swing high was. So we have resolved that. Then we had a little consolidation phase. You can cup this. This is a cup. Often happening after our bottoms here. We cupped. Let me get my paintbrush tool. Blowing through this. Cup. Handle. Breakout. Nice consolidation phase. Massive move. This is weekly still. Massive move on a broadening wedge there. Broadening wedge, massive move. Where are we today? I still see a cup. We've broken out above the handle. We're hitting resistance on the right pivot of our cup right here. If we break above about $100, we are in breakout territory and we're looking to hit our next levels here. So I want to see if these levels line up. Yeah, they line up very nicely, very nicely. So Fibonacci, I'm going to graduate you to big, thick lines for all our boomers with their CVS bifocals. Let's go ahead and hop in here to our settings. Where are you? Boom. I've selected you. Where are the settings? How I do this? I want you guys to see the lines, and it's not here. I'll just redraw it. Screw it. Fibonacci retracement, not extension tool. Absolute high of the pattern on this wick down to the absolute low. And then doing that should show me the tool so I can edit the lines. Oh, here we are. Here we are. I'm just tripping. I need the bifocals. So we're making those lines thick, and we're also going to make them a little bit brighter. How about that? So we want our 50% line to be brighter. There we go. And let's get our 61 to be brighter. Boom. Music's way too loud, guys. I'm turning that down. I know some of you are very sensitive to lo-fi hip-hop beats, and it makes you feel sleepy, so I'm turning that down for you. So look, this thing is lining up perfectly with former support, all right? Support has become resistance. Now we want to break through. Use the fib tool on this to make your targets. This is a cup with handle. You can target something like this swing low up to, you can do first this right cup, add it to that 50% line, and then you hit perfectly on that 100% line for a price target of 128, with each one of these lines serving as what are probably going to be corrective phases. Remember, we're looking at the weeklies right now. That's going to be about 27%. All right, getting through it. Thank you, Popcorn, for showing the love. That's almost okay. Yeah, exactly. People traded Nirvana for Linkin Park. I loved Linkin Park in high school, but that just seems wrong. Some people like them both. I like them both. I'm way more of a Nirvana fan than Linkin Park, I will say. I did have the Hybrid Theories album when I was in high school, I think. And they're very talented. It's just not my atmosphere kind of genre feel to stick with it. But I do have a lot of respect for them as a band. They're actually very talented and unique innovators. Anyways, moving on from DDS, let's get to Bank of America, which I believe was if you're in the chat, let me know. What up, Bio? How are we doing? I like how you spell my name correctly and then add a little slap your mama Cajun seasoning on top of it. A little. Why'd you take that down, Producer AB? Okay, Producer AB is getting a little handsy with the comments. All right, so he's all hands. All right, so let's go ahead and delete these. Kids now think Nirvana is clothing line. That's makes me sad. Don't say that. All right, so what do we see with Bank of America?
Wait, Neil. Producer note: we have Boeing pulled up right now.
Oh, dude, okay. So this is like an ongoing thing. Okay. Every time I pull up Boeing, I call it Bank of America. Bank of America is BAC. Boeing is BA. Whatever. It's a stock, and here's the prices. Producer AB, you got my back, brother. I appreciate it. Sorry about the hands comment. All right, so we've got this gap down. So I'm going to use this. Look at this. Gap down lines up perfectly. This is the weekly, guys. We're looking at the weekly. We're going to have big reversal setups. So I'm going to switch to this tool. Let's get our resistance in here. I'm not going to pull in the fib, not pulling in anything else. I'm looking just at price and using my classic, what do you call them? Bob Ross drawing tools here. All right. This is our ascending triangle reversing pattern that we're in right now, and it is gorgeous. We have broken out. Why is it gorgeous? Because this candle broke out at a little spike of volume. Look at that. That was like a solid 100% increase in volume for this candle. We thrusted through. We're looking good right now. We're just in a consolidation phase. So you can look at this as, once again, on the weekly, a nice little. Actually, that goes right down to it. Let's do that. There you go. I used 2 lines to do it, so it's kind of crooked. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let's move the RSI down. That's not that important. Looking at Boeing, we have broken out of this big ascending triangle reversal. Now let's look at our potential here. Let's do a little thing. Let's get our fib tool to the beginning of this downward trend, which is this pivot point here, where you can see this bearish, if you can see it. When you saw this, if you were watching Bank of America, Boeing airplanes, and you saw this big engulfing, meaning like bigger candle that was red, that's a pivot point. All right, that's where this thing's about to turn around. So you should be looking at that as a reversal. So at any rate, let's zoom out a little bit and let's get our fib retracement, anchor it at the top of the pivot, the high of where our downward trend started, and then the absolute low before our reversal started. And then we've got our retracement lines. Look, the 61.8% line lining up with support here, lining up with support here, lining up with a little consolidation phase here. 50% right where the body opened for this candle before our gap down into stock purgatory. But we are now escaping purgatory. So when we're looking at this, let's see if this lines up with our next line. We're looking at Bank of America. Bro. Boeing. We're looking at Boeing. Can they? I wish they would just switch their. Wait, I wish it was like BO. Come on. So we're looking at Boeing. And let's measure this move. All right, let's measure this impulse that goes up into our descending triangle here. Measured move is the height down to the swing low. And let's add that to our hypothetical breakout point of using the fib line. I think it's the 50% line. And you can see that that measure move lines up perfectly with this next line at the 61.8. So the fib lines, the Fibonacci retracement tools are working perfectly so well with our pattern recognition, targeting, and entry setting. So loving it. Yeah, of course, SOS exploded. It's always exploding. Should we make the show? We should have a separate show on Benzinga that's just meme and Twitter stocks. Over other, so when you're lining up the fib lines, are there sometimes really bullish signs over other sometimes? I think you're just saying, like, are there any lines that are important? There are lines that traders will use, and we've had educators, and my camera's frozen, I'm fully aware. Producer AB, can you confirm that I'm still on?
Confirm what, that you're still like on stream?
Yeah, is my camera frozen?
Oh yeah, your camera's frozen. Definitely.
That's fine. I
can hear you though, so that's
good.
What's important.
Yeah, thanks. There are some educators that have been on the show, and some folks that just love Fibonacci retracement lines that have some lines that really mean something to them. I am not good enough, perhaps, or far along enough in my trading education to think of it that way. I simply use these lines as points that are probably going to be selling points or points of consolidation on our journey upward or downward. So let's do a thing. Producer AB, don't move a muscle. I'll be right back.
How's it going, y'all? I know Neil told me not to move, but I just wanted to hop out of my box and say what's up. He should be right back. He's just resetting his camera real quick, so he's hopefully not frozen anymore. And then, yeah, we do have a special guest coming up in 10 minutes. We have Edu, aka Dr. Stockz. He's been with us before. He's a very knowledgeable technical trader. He posts on his Instagram a lot of different charts and different strategies for different swing trades and stuff. Which, as you guys know, I need to learn some more about, because the only technical pattern I really feel comfortable with is V-pops and identifying V-pops.
I mean, so people were talking about the V-Pops during the boot camp.
The boot, really? Oh, so they're infamous. They live on. The Donkey Kong V-Pops.
They work, man. The Donkey Kong V-Pops. They're legit. I think I actually see one on Bank of America here. So just clowning. All right, so let me get that.
Maybe we need a Bank of America Boeing merger, and that will help.
That would be probably a bad decision for Bank of America to do that. At any rate, guys, with the fib lines, I'm just looking at those as points where price is probably going to consolidate. So I look at those as speed bumps. So they're future resistance or future support. Okay, so this is Boeing. I am targeting upon breakout of this little pattern that we're in right now, 300. I think that this full reversal here of this ascending triangle reversal pattern is going to resolve with a measure of the swing high down to the swing low, added to our resistance line, getting us to right about here, lining us up with just about resistance at 384. So I am targeting an entry upon a breakout above 262, 263. Gonna grab a little bit of profit in between. Watch for the consolidation. It'll probably do one of these. Boop, 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 boop. Like that. Okay, so next up, why is there any news? It's the overall environment. So sometimes there's going to be tangential news that is not exactly or directly about the stock, but things like vaccinations. Like, I'm basing this purely on the pattern. I'm just placating you because you need a reason. Nevils, here, I'm going to open this up. The atmosphere or the environment for people taking more flights more frequently, for revenue to start going up for this company, is getting primed. So I think we're starting to price in some of that vaccinated, I'm ready to travel. And I told you they're going to say it a lot on CNBC, roaring 20s moment where everyone's going to be flying to Vegas and going nuts and giving each other mouth STDs. So at any rate, let's move on to our next stock. We got CHPT. The market is getting wrecked right now. Can we take a look? Let's do a quick little overview. Let's take a break from the Twitter stocks and look at Nasdaq. And by wrecked, don't overthink it. We're just having a sell-off period. So the week is down so far. Let's switch over to daily on QQQ's paintbrush. Pesky damn tool. We're looking cuptastic here. So I said it one day early. I said on a Friday on Twitter. Really, I said to Hertz Scrambler, this market rules, okay? This market rules. You just got to know what you're doing. Isaac. So guys, I tweeted one day early that I said expect a little bit of exhaustion, a little bit of a corrective phase for our big movers for the Nasdaq ETF because it moved up on low volume. Look, the volume was going down, moved up. It's getting into, as far as QQQ goes, this is like overbought territory. Like getting anywhere close to the 70 line, that's overbought. That's when we get corrective phases. This one definitely. Maybe more so SPY. I think SPY is a lot more sensitive on RSI. At any rate, sell-off is fine. Might give us a little handle. This could be setting up for a little cup with handle. We shall see as the week unfolds. That is normal for profit to be taken after this crazy move upward on QQQ with this gap. Insane movement, insane return to form for Nasdaq, driven by Microsoft. Apple came through too with very little relative strength. So, we're gonna take a breather, and then this is just making an entry for us, guys. All right, it's not about being early; it's about being patient and prepared. I just made that up. That could be totally wrong. I don't know. So at any rate, this is setting up for an entry. I look at this as a big old cup. So I'm going to delete these lines right quick. Let's delete them. Trash can. Let's get out the arc tool on QQQ. Left cup. Right pivot. Low. Beginning of our post pivot selling. Looking like something like that. Next day might be a little bit down. Tomorrow might be a little bit down. I don't know. But if it is, then that's when we're going to get something like this. And then our breakout above that handle. We might. Yeah, okay. Is that priced into Microsoft? So someone said that Microsoft way overpaid for Nuon. Is it priced in? I don't know. Stock is green on the day. Let's look at Nuon, the company that was being acquired. Usually the company being acquired is the one that benefits from the merger, and boy, did it ever. We shall see. If it holds support, I mean, shoot. You can watch Nuon. Let's get back to the Twitter stocks. Real quick check in on SPY, though. I mean, SPY is a beast, but this is we gotta sell a little bit. You know, look at our average volume going down, and then we got to, as we always do with SPY, anytime we're getting around 70, we're getting a little corrective action. It's more sensitive to the 70 line than your typical stocks are, which where you really want to look like closer to 80, 75, 80. At any rate, this one I would look at as a really nice impulse with a corrective phase. And the great thing is that following a big impulse on the SPY, the movement after your corrective phase is going to be commensurate to your prior impulse. So a breakout above any form of resistance that we still need to form after a period of consolidation on SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. The move following that can be very big. So very bullish on this, but after all, pulling out the Bollinger Band, we can see how overextended we are. All right, let's get over to CHPT. Right away, since I still have the Bollinger Band tool open, we can see a couple things here. Number one, we can see that volume trending down. We can see RSI trending down. This is the daily, though. I think whoever tweeted CHPT, let me know what time frame you're looking at. We are down about 6%, 6.2%. However, the MACD is going up. We are starting to lose a little upward momentum on our fast line on our MACD. So we do have just some bearish signs here. Some bearish signs. I'm getting beaten down again. Guys, why do we use these aggressive terms? These are normal phases. When the selling happens is when you guys should put on your rat ears and get ready for entry points. These are creating periods of consolidation for you to enter. And they're normally forming recognizable patterns. So just looking at CHPT, I'm not a huge fan, I will say, of this. Not a huge fan. But we kind of hit the neckline of this rounding top and have come back. Not sure if there's going to be some kind of catalyst that tells this thing to stay at support and keep moving. But right now, just looking at the history of the stock, this rounding bottom is looking kind of mean, looking like it might want to drive this thing down something like this, which is like very low. But if we are truly in reversal mode and this support is holding strong, you may treat this as an impulsive move, which is going to get you something like I think we got a guest here today. Oh, Dr. Stockz is back. Not the most beautiful thing in the world. What was your reason for CHPT? You see an inverse cup and handle. I wish is there a way to just flip your chart over? It's so much easier to see when you like turn it upside down. But if it's an inverse cup and handle, which is bearish in this case, you get some room to go down. So this one, I'm bearish on this one in general, just because of our price history with this rounding top. Also, volume drying up, RSI going down, MACD, our fast line, this blue line, doing one of these, the downward claw. Downward claw, tear you right down. You ever seen Jurassic Park? I feel like right now you're that whoever picked this stock, you're like that kid at the beginning of Jurassic Park, the little smart ass that pisses off what's his name, the like main character at the beginning, and he like gets in his face with the with the Velociraptor talon and like tells him how it can like cut his belly. Well, don't get your belly cut by this stock because it looks like it's got a little claw here on the MACD in the wrong direction. All right, so let's look at TXG. 10X Genomics. Was this my pick? I keep forgetting whose pick is whose. Wait, what? Bottom right settings icon, go to invert chart. Let's do it. I got to see it. I got to see it. That was CHPT. Settings. We're at 10:01, so I got to bring up my guest in a second. I just want to flip this chart. Invert scale. Whoa. Holy cannoli. You guys just changed. You actually just changed my life. So I don't see an inverse cup. Usually a cup and handle is a continuation pattern. So you would need to see movement like this leading up to it. So what I see is just a rounding bottom reversal. But this is on the inverted chart. Rounding bottom reversal. And then as always with our rounding bottom reversals, as freaking always, like almost always, we get our little move. Sometimes we dip back down and then we break through this resistance, but we still target full resolution of the base plus the neckline of our, of our rounding bottom, which in this case, when we invert it, it's kind of ugly. Is that negative? There's no way that's negative. No, it's just $1.42. Yeah, keep your eyeballs peeled on this one. And what I'll do is one last thing. We'll just get the retracement tool. High. Wait, no, we shouldn't be doing the high to the low. We should be going the opposite direction. Yeah. Retracement tool from the low to the high. We can start right about here. Why am I tripping? Something wrong? Yeah, whatever. Bearish the stock. Forget the fib tool. That's stupid. I hate that tool. Never works. All right, guys, smash the like. Do me a huge favor. What I'll say is if we get this video to 250 likes, which we have about 500 people watching. So if half of you like the video, at least, which if only half of you are liking the video, that's just weird. All right, guys, you guys are being weird. If we get this video to 250 likes, I will write a song for you and play it on one of those fake guitars. I'll actually buy a guitar, a real one that's not a green screen background, and then play it for you. So let's get this to 250 likes. You guys want to see it. Come on. Souza, you got to tweet them at me. That's a new rule. It is now time for me to shut up, stop talking about guitar, and bring on a very special guest. I'm not sure if he has a PhD, but he goes by the name of Dr. Stockz. Producer AB, can we bring on Dr. Stockz for our guest lesson? Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I don't have a PhD.
Okay. It's good.
So
it's good to.
Okay,
it's good to get that one out of the way. I'm sure. But how are you doing? Your head is encircled like a Renaissance Italian painting. You look wonderful.
I'm the Latin American Raiden.
Oh my God, that's so cool. Shout out to the Mortal Kombat movie that's going to come out really soon. Give me this
Yeah.
video if you're excited for the new Mortal Kombat.
That deserves the 50%, right?
Yes, I think it does. So Dr. Stockz, you are a second time guest on the show. And you were
Thanks for having me, buddy.
It's a great pleasure to have you. You gave us a very unique viewpoint on your trading style. If I'm not mistaken, the last time you were on the show, you were talking about pre-market setups using the Fibonacci extension or retracement tool that I just had so much trouble with. I'm hoping that we can revisit that topic and maybe see some of the names that you're looking at today. Or if there's something else you want to teach, I'm game for it.
Awesome. Yeah, I actually already plotted something. So this time I think we should be good with the screen share. So I'll go ahead and start that up, right, Neil?
Yeah, hopefully it works this time.
Awesome. So.
While he's pulling that up, guys, make sure you hit the like for the Mortal Kombat movie that's about to come out. Smash that like for Dr. Stock's hat. Okay, here we go. Now we see it.
Are we good, brother?
We are good, brother.
Magical. Okay, so I kind of cheated a little bit before coming on, but I'll explain what I did. So what I want to do is I'm interested in pre-market multiple bottom areas. So, you know, most people will say, okay, here on the left, maybe you're going to put the 0% there, and then you're just going to plot the high point. For me, what I'm interested in is I'm interested in finding the lowest most touched area, right, which is a multiple bottom 3 candles or more. And then we're looking for the multiple top as well with 3 candles or more. Because remember, we have triple bottom, double bottom, and then basically once it's triple, it's usually considered to be multiple as well. So basically, you can see this little pocket here at 469 pre-market area. That's where I put the 0%, and then I put the 545 up here at the 100%. Is that making sense so far?
It is making sense so far. Everyone hit the like button if that's making sense.
Awesome. So then we come over here to the open. Now, because I've tracked this so many times over the past 5 years, I have a little bit of a bias of where I'm going to buy. Now, I'm a pullback trader, or, you know, also known as a dip buyer to some. I like to look for the 50% and the 38% retracement for entry. So that would make it, oops, let me close this out.
Yeah, I love it when that happens.
Yeah.
Is it asking you to upgrade? Or to log in, it looks like.
Let's close that out.
Just a reminder, folks, you can get a free trial of Benzinga Pro, which uses TradingView charts for your technical analysis at pro.benzinga.com. I'll go ahead and drop a link in chat.
See,
hashtag chilling and chilling. If we can't get through this, fallback plan is you instruct me and I will be the chart guy. You just tell me what to do.
Sure.
Not the first time we've had to do that on the show.
Yeah, no, the problem is there's not even an X here to close it down. Maybe we'll go with you.
Did you refresh it?
Sure, let me refresh.
Or just completely close TradingView and then reopen it. Pierce, if you're watching, why are you doing this to us? Pierce Crosby, everyone at him.
All right, let's hope that one doesn't pop up again. All right, we're clean. So now we just get to replay. So you're still seeing this, Neil?
Yes, we are.
Awesome. So let's go back to where we started. So this time you guys get to see it break down. This was the area that I had mentioned, like so. And then essentially what we want here is, so we have the 540s, 544 to be exact, 100% retracement. And then we have this 469 is the 0%. Now, right out of the gate at 9:30, I have a bias towards 38 and 50%, just because I've seen it happen so many times. I've noticed that once it pulls back to that 38 or 50%, you usually get a nice bounce. Now, what I've also noticed is if it goes below 38%, then it usually starts to become bearish quite often. And so you can kind of see that on the volume. On this specific candle, we are now a little bit below testing this 38, and you can see that the volume is heavy there. You're able to see that, Neil?
It was until that came up. Yeah, now I can see it.
Let's see. Let's zoom in a little more. There we go. How's that?
Yeah, and
Can you
chat,
see this
let us
bar right there?
I can see it. Chat, let us know if you can see all the lines and price levels there. They're pretty clear for me. But let us know if you're having trouble. I think you're good to keep going.
Essentially, awesome. So just to repeat, basically for me, what I've noticed, once it flushes below 38 and 50, it will usually remain bearish. Sometimes it'll recover, but most of the time it'll continue to go lower. So for me, as long as it holds that area, that 38, 50% retracement right out of the gate, then you usually at the very least get a retest or a little bit of a pop back up. Sometimes it'll go red to green, meaning it'll curl down like this, and then boom, it'll go up and over the market open. And then from there, that's when people flood in. But that's kind of my technique as far as right out of the gates. And I usually give it about 10, 15 minutes roughly to settle. Unless the setup's phenomenal, then I'll go ahead and get in right away.
I love the simplicity. How are you selecting the stocks that you're looking at?
Sure. The first one, the criterion is it has to have a history of making big moves. So ears is an example. GBR is an example. And what we can do, actually, let's just go on over to GBR and I'll explain what I mean. So I'm going to change it over here to a daily. Zoom in a little bit there. Now, basically what we're seeing with a lot of these charts, this is very much a pump and dump chart. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
But when it runs, it can run quickly. So you come back here to March, you can see the price shot from 480s all the way up to the 8s very quickly, sometimes in just a day or two. And so when I see that repetitiousness going on over and over again, I'll just keep going to the left so everybody can see that this has a history of making some really big moves. Back here, check out this one, Neil. This one was from the 2s all the way up to 27 in about 3-4 days. So as long as
right?
Yeah, as long as it has a history of making these massive moves, then it's going to be a potential candidate. So if we go on over to ears now, we'll notice a similar concept here. You know, and just to clarify percentage-wise, a good move in a short period of time is a 30% plus move in under a couple days. So if it can do 30% plus in a day or 2 or 3 days, then that would be a potential candidate. So we can kind of see ears here. For example, here in February, we launched from $4 up to $5.50. Here in March, from the 280s, next day we launched up to the highs. I'm not saying the highs here because I'm not used to using TradingView, but 4s and so on and so forth. So you're kind of seeing that repetitiousness there, Neil?
Yeah, I am. And I also want to just say for context for you, when I see these stocks that are clearly have a history of being pumped and dumped, I stay away because I don't know how to handle them. So I love that you're giving a guide here and you're actually saying that you favor them. This is very interesting.
Absolutely. And you know, and if you go into it basically understanding like, okay, this is a get in, get out today, or I usually tell people maximum 2-3 days. And if you're going to hold these overnight, you must check those SEC filings. You got to check the news. You got to do a little bit more research. But they're great momentum plays because, you know, you can easily be in and out within the first hour, 2 hours, sometimes even faster. And then you just move on. So as long as you have the psychology of, hey, this is indeed a more pump and dump type play, then you enter it with that mentality and you know where you should be getting in and out. So here's a tip for everybody. I would set a maximum stop loss for the majority of these 7 to 10%. they go down 7 to 10%, consider that to be a loss. And then you can always either revisit the trade or look at another one.
I love it. So for folks that are looking to start using this strategy, what are some signs to look for in stocks that have had these big moves that they're probably like manipulated pump and dump things, which in this case, we're leveraging that. We're saying this is a fact of life in the market. This happens. Why not make some money with it? What are some things that they can look for?
Yep. So you want to pull up at least a 2 to 5 year chart. And what you do is you just check this is the daily chart. And you want to go back in history and say, okay, the days that it moves strong, 30% plus, 50% plus, as we saw, some of these can move 600% plus. The days that it moved strong, when it opened, did it have a history of just selling off all day? So, and you'll see that in the candle. You'll see that in the daily candle, or you can pull it up on the history, maybe pull up, 100-day, 5-minute chart or what have you. And then you just go back and check the price action. So for this one, you can kind of see right out of the gate sold, creating this sort of bear flag formation. So the next time you trade ears, let's say we traded on Friday and it's running again, we need to remember that this is what this did, because people look for historical repetition in the small cap world. So they're going to say, oh, Monday, it was panic selling, created a bear flag, and it retraced all the way to the zero. And so if it runs again on Friday, then you're going to want to keep that in your history books, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
So this is great. I like the bite-sizedness of this. Does anyone in chat, guys, give us some questions? Most of the comments that we're getting in chat, we got one that's like, I love pump and dumps. Another one, another one is like, I just made money off yours, which hell yeah, big ups to the person that did that.
Good.
And then Baron Wuffet says, I seize it. I don't know what that means. But guys, do you have any questions about this apparently very straightforward approach to stocks that have big upward movement, probably on some form of manipulation? Which, guys, like I know that you guys are probably way more hip to this than I am. I feel like the boomer with the traders these days, because I'm going by the like William J. O'Neill kind of trading. But these guys love this stuff. So Jason is asking, what alerted you to ears? And I think that you kind of answered how you came to ears, but would you mind answering that question directly?
Yeah. So the simple answer is, so when the pre-market, because I know you guys provide that as well, pre-market gainers, pre-market losers come up on the scan in the morning, what you do is go check the daily chart, give it about 2 to 5 years worth of history, and just look for a history of continuation. Yeah. So continuation pattern. And instead of, okay, stock opens up and sells off every single time over the past 5 years. Can you trade that? Sure. But don't expect it to have much continuation. So with ears, if you go back and check 2 to 5 years, it will have a history of having a little bit of a retrace, hold, maybe go higher, and maybe it'll even run a couple days in a row, which that's even more ideal. They're called multi-day runners. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then the rest of it would just, you could go micromanage it and pop on over to a 5-minute chart, 1-hour chart, and go check the history as well. That way you can get super specific, just like I had said with this one. Since this is what we're seeing on Monday, if she runs tomorrow or Wednesday or Friday, then I'm going to want to remember, okay, remember, ladies and gentlemen, right out of the gate, this panic sold and it came down to the zero. So that's now micromanaging it and getting very detailed. The other thing I always tell people, volume is the captain of the ship. So as this is coming down, I want red volume coming down, downstairs. I call it downstairs red volume. And so as long as on its pullbacks, I'm seeing downstairs red volume and then an increase in green volume, then this puppy can still find a little bit of momentum. So for example, here, now that we're at the zero, I don't usually like it to retrace all the way to the zero. Like I said, I like 38 and 50. And once it goes below that, you already see here, it weakened after that. So if this is going to pick back up, then I want to see some significant volume growth here. And if that's the case, then it might have a little bit more action in it.
One last question before we
Sure.
wrap up. So we're getting this from Grant. Are you using this for a particular cap size for your stocks? Small cap, or are you looking at mid and large?
Sure. Mainly small cap, micro cap.
Got it. Makes absolute sense.
Mid cap works too, though. Mid cap works as well, but for the quicker moves, you're going to want that small and micro cap.
I love it, man. All right, Dr. Stockz, thank you so much for being with us. Two things I've got to ask you. Number one, what has been your favorite stock so far this year, and that you think is still going to have some trading potential? And where can folks find more from you?
Sure. I think one of the funner ones was definitely NEO, because that was a true penny stock a few months back, and now it's, you know, floating up in heaven. So
Yes.
that one was just fun because of the price action that it provided this whole past year. And then where they can find me is on Dr. Stockz, spell out doctor and then Stockz with a Z, all one word, on Instagram.
Got it. There's the direct link, but if you guys look there, that's Dr. Stockz, Stockz. Dr. Stockz, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Get Technical.
Thanks, Neil. Appreciate it, brother.
Have a good trading day.
Take care, man. You too, buddy.
All right, guys. I got a fever, and the only prescription is that hat. I need to get one of those. Guys, great morning trading stuff. I love the guests that Aaron Bree gets for this show, because I usually look at obvious pump and dump stocks, which are, let's face it, those are the stocks that you see people talking about a lot on social media. And I stay away from them because I just don't understand them. And the man just gave me a magical key to open up that crazy Pandora's box of pump and dump style stocks. And guys, pump and dumps happen. It's not ethical for large entities to pump stocks that they hold and then sell them off when they hit the top. No, it's not ethical. That's why there are regulations against it, but it happens. No, it's not ethical to use inside knowledge to make trades if you're not part of the company. That's something that happens, and that's why unusual options activity is something that a lot of people look at, because when they see a lot of unusual calls being bought or a lot of unusual puts being bought, that kind of means that someone knows something. If there's a tremendous amount of money in it, someone with a ton of capital, probably some wealthy person or institution that's got some inside knowledge, and people use that to quote unquote follow the smart money. So these are facts of life. They've happened for years, and giving us tools to make money off of that, I love it. So Dr. Stockz, definitely follow him on Instagram. And then we got the link right there in chat, guys. Here's what I got to say. I streamed 7 days over the past week, and I am so tired. I need a vacation, but I love doing it. I will do a Saturday live stream with live music, with a special guest, with more than one special guest. We'll get, maybe Brad Weber will come on. We'll talk about trading options. We'll do all of our research for the week so we can make the best damn watch list for the week ahead, which after this week, there's probably going to be a bunch of great setups following some of the selling that we're seeing today. I will do that. I will play guitar for you. I will write a song about 13 and Miles in chat. Right now, they're my star chatters. I will do that if each video for the rest of the week gets to a minimum of 250 likes. If that doesn't happen, there is no live stream. Why? Because we can't grow as a channel unless we get those. So, guys, we need to get this video up to 250 likes. Really appreciate it. That's what makes it worth everyone's time, and everyone benefits from it. So just take a moment, slap that like, slap it. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell if you haven't already. I hate shilling. I absolutely hate it, but this is how YouTube works. So that's the only way that we can keep this thing going. And also, come on. If you watch the show, you might as well get alerts. It's just going to help you. Thank you guys for smashing the like. Neil on guitar on a Saturday. Let's fucking go. Yep. So that what might happen is I played the beginning to Stairway to Heaven like 4 times. I keep going, just hold on. And then I retune my guitar and I started again. Just hold on 1 second. Then a bunch of sweat starts dripping down my face. It might be awkward at first. But we're going to plug it in and I'm going to do a stock market / chat related song for all of you guys. So at any rate, I'm not that bad at guitar. I'm also not great. So don't get your expectations too high. I've been playing since I was like 14, never got too sick. Here we are at 10:25. We've got time for one more ticker. And I'm going to reward the people that were cool enough to go over to, let's share the screen here, to go over to my Twitter and respond to my tweet about getting the tickers ahead of the show instead of shouting them out. So guys, if you want your tickers to get looked at on the show, look for a tweet like this. Good morning, everyone. Drop your tickers and timeframes here. And look at all these people being cool. Dropping their tickers, their timeframes ready to go. Let's look at WWE any time frame we want from Mike Dinella. Whoops, wrong thing. WWE. No surprise because I've seen this guy's profile. I'm pretty sure he's into UFC. That he's into WWE. This is a stock that's probably near and dear his heart. Mike, if you're here, shout out. We have some news deskers that love WWE. So let's map our little downward trend that we've been on. Have that hit here. I wonder if that lines up nicely with this pivot point. It actually does, but then it sells off. So we can use something like this to map out our downward trend because our swing highs got a little bit higher than what we had here. Sorry for the chaos and the moving around of the charts here. Let's bring this down, focusing just on price here, just on price. WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. We've got our reversal happening. We've got our downward trend with our nice little early breakout here. Let's illustrate that. Let me know, Mike, if you're here, if you're trading this. I would love to hear it. So let's just let's throw the whole thing at the stock with our last minute here, minute or two. Let's get the retracement tool, the high before the downward trend, anchor it at the low of the trend. So that's going to put a lot of lines in my chart, but bear with me. Bear with me. Let's get rid of this white line. Just use our fib lines. Clean it up. And we can see that lining up with our consolidation phases. Very, very nice. Wonder how that changes if we bring it up to the second one. Woo! Why is this a nice reversal? Why is this a nice indication that's probably going to keep going? Because it had a higher low, guys. We love to see that. You see that a lot with like the recent tech stocks. That was a huge indication to get in early. So low, higher low, trending down, breakout, or entry point, entry signal upon growth past this descending trend line, starting at the high, hitting this middle pivot, and then coming all the way down here. Lovely, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can draw this probably a little bit tighter like that. All right. So those lines are just a little bit of guidance and to illustrate a point. So I'm going to get rid of this and I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that pink line. Next thing I'm going to do is box in. Actually, I'm not even going to box it in because you know what? This is not box time. This is ascending triangle reversal time. Lining this up with our 23% line on our Fibonacci extension tool perfectly, beautifully. And we're going to do our measured move. The high, the swing high to the swing low on our ascending triangle reversal pattern added to our neckline lines us up with just about this consolidation phase. I think easily we get to 74 though. Easily, because that's where the real resistance is up here. So what we are watching for on WWE, let's zoom in a little bit, guys. We got patterns within patterns. Let's do it justice. And I got 1 minute left, so I'm going to go super fast. All right, so we got, where's my arc tool? There it is. We got a cup. As often follows our reversal patterns. When we hit resistance, we get a little cup and handle action. So I'm going to draw my handle like this. Look at how gorgeous it is here on the left cup. I'm going to start my arc and then draw the right side right as we begin to break out. So that's on our line. Breaking out of the handle, targeting the 59 level, which is the right pivot resistance line here. So we are already broken out. So the opportunity to trade the handle breakout is gone. Don't chase that. Now we are looking for entry at paintbrush tool, a close above this line at 59.5, 59.50 for a breakout above our left cup point on this pattern. We are targeting the depth of the cup added to that neckline, which gets us right. So this is the range that we're looking at. We're targeting something in this range. Between 71.5 and 74.5. Killer. Awesome looking stock. WWE. Big shout out, Mike. Smash the like button, folks. Smash that like. That keeps us going. Hit it. Steven wants to hear Nothing Else Matters. I already know how to play it, so I got you, Steven. We'll play that. I'll plug it in. Maybe do the drum track on the background. And remember, none of this happens on a Saturday live stream with Get Technical unless we get 250 likes or more on every single video. This has been Get Technical. I don't have my outro music, so just imagine it. Thank you so much for joining us. I am humbled and honored as always to be able to present this stuff to you and have our great guest, Dr. Stockz. Make sure you check him out on Instagram. Great picks today. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Neil's Tweet so you can get your picks in ahead of time so we can cover them on the show. I'm Neil Hamilton. This has been Get Technical. With me as always, producer AB. Happy trading, everyone.